Where the fuck is this fucking battery?
Behind you.
What?
In that room. Remember all those boxes you broke and you just left in the corner there?
That was a battery? I thought this was a bomb.
Why is there just suddenly a different looking bomb than from what's been in this game?
You can't like open the door.
But anyway, the main point is Sword Art Online is good to a point, and then you get to, and this isn't even spoiling anything really, just once you get to incest, things lose their value immediately.
Okay, I don't remember the exact relation. Wasn't she his second cousin? I think in Japan this is more acceptable, but to America,
in Japan it's
this
more
is like...
acceptable, but still, like, okay, basically, whether you want to watch the show or not, I don't give a shit. Basically what happens is this dude has a sister, quotations, but what happens is, like, early on as a kid, he finds out that it's not actually his sister. So, like, I can't remember, does he know that they were still related, or as far as he knew, she was just...
I think he does, because his family, he actually doesn't live with his family.
Yeah.
He moved with his aunt, I think, and it's his cousin, but they grew up together, so they're like sisters.
It turns out who he thought was his sister is actually just like one of his cousins. And then later, she had actually already known that, and she thought that's why he just didn't want to talk to her. So then later, when he starts acting all nice and shit, she gets all pissed off, and she's like all mad and shit because she started liking him and everything. And then on top of that, when they were playing this new game, she met a character in there, didn't know it was him, so she started liking this guy once she stopped thinking about him, only to realize it's the same guy. So then she's just like, I feel bad because I like you. And then he's just like...
It was fun. Despite whatever you might think about that, it was actually a kind of an emotional thing, because he has to deal with the, like, that's kind of traumatic for him, because he's like, you're torturing this person that you really do need to save the person you actually love. So it's an interesting scenario, but it's just...
It's a weird-ass scenario, but the problem with it is... Like, if maybe had it just been that one scene, and that scene alone, it would have been fine. But then she starts acting like one of the thirsty hoes you'd see in a hentai, too. So the next thing you know, everybody wants to sit on this dude's dick. Even his own cousin, and he's just like, whatever.
The second arc is about like different clans, and this one touches on the subject of like clans and games and how like there's like people taking over. But all of them are female leaders of the clan. I think there's like one male leader, maybe he was like the lieutenant. The fights are pretty good in that if you want to watch for the fights. But
I've yet to start.
It's just starting to season 3 that we're working on. Oh shit.
There's something inside me just saying don't watch it.
It's from what he told me, it starts off kind of dull and he doesn't like it at all, but I mean it gets better.
I mean, like, the gunplay and everything sounds interesting, but I feel in my heart...
I don't like it. I always say my like,
because I always feel like swordplay is way more interesting than gunplay.
Well, he has it, so he uses the sword and gun. That's interesting to me. But
I mean, like, gunplay can end so quickly, at least with sword. Sword, there's a fight. I mean, unless you're beating the guy who created Sword Art Online, then it's just like... No, I'm a hacker. I swipe you once.
No, the final fight with that guy,
it was so anticlimactic.
The first fight...
The biggest disappointment ever. Just like every game in existence.
You were hoping for them.
Every new game. I can't say every game in existence. This game had good boss fights. This game had a good boss fight. So me and my sister were talking about Carrie last night. Because I was trying to talk about this really bad version I saw on Netflix. It was like a 2000 remake. It wasn't the newest one, but it was sci-fi quality.
Yeah.
Like the channel sci-fi quality. That says enough by itself. But I was watching it with Robert, and it got to this scene. Like the original movie has like a scene where there's a meteor shower towards the end. But the one we were watching, like, it was 10 minutes into the movie, it's still describing Carrie as a person, her life, what she has to deal with and everything.
Yeah.
And it shows her at the age of 8, and there's just, like, random meteor shower on her house. Like, she doesn't have full control over her powers, she just, like, randomly caused a meteor shower. Worse special effects, too. Like, it was out of nowhere, there was no context for it, no, like, explanation. It's just like, here's a meteor shower. And we're like, what? And I just remember... it's one of those things where you just start laughing so hard and it just becomes silent while you gasp for air. I had to turn the movie off because we just couldn't stop laughing at everything. It got to the point where just one thing was so stupid, you laugh at everything now. Like, everything just instantly becomes funny. And I had to turn the freaking movie off because
that's how I feel about
survive.
I think the Conjuring, like I think they released that movie about the doll. What's it called?
Annabelle.
Yeah, like those movies. That's how I feel about those. Those are like not even that scary, just more laughable than anything. And when a horror movie becomes laughable, you can just not take it seriously anymore.
I was laughing through the whole thing. I thought it was I'm not gonna say. I don't want to say it was a good movie, but I don't want to say it's a bad one either. It's one of those situations where you can't say it's good or bad. You can only say, I would only watch it that one time. I didn't have a problem with it, but I'm not going to watch it again. You have no idea what you're supposed to do.
Oh, no, I was just killing stuff. Oh, I'm supposed to go this way.
It's not good nor bad. I only would watch it the one time, though. It basically ended up being like Amnesia, a machine for pigs. It had the atmosphere, and then didn't deliver anything. I mean, there was one part where I jumped, and that was it. The rest of it was me laughing because stupid white people. And that's literally all the movie was. Is I would start getting on the edge of my seat because the atmosphere is going, and it's good atmosphere. It's like Dead Space quality atmosphere.
Yeah.
Amnesia Machine for Pigs had great atmosphere. The only good thing about the game.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where you built it up perfectly and then you just didn't deliver on it. And then that's your own fault.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, it wasn't a bad movie. Like, I don't feel bad for watching it. But I don't think I would watch it again just because I feel like it. Now, if we want to talk about bad movies, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Or, wait, what's the other one? Dragon Ball Evolution. Now, if you also want to see another video, watch Team 4-Star give their review on that. That's
Honest Trailers, Dragon Ball Evolution.
Yeah, Honest Trailers.
There was such a sick joke in that Honest Trailers video. He was like, he said, the biggest disgrace to Japan since Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe... It's one of those, like that video I just showed you with Toy Story. It's just one of those jokes you can't believe people made, but you're gonna laugh at it anyway because it's true. Dragon Ball Evolution, the biggest disgrace to Japanese heritage since Hiroshima. I was like, oh my gosh.
That's pretty terrible.
And he said it like it was nothing, and that's what made it so much better. And it's just like, oh, I'm such a terrible person, but it's funny.
I'm just a terrible person.
I feel the terrible people are the better people. Not saying get over it like it was nothing, but people do need to move on from shit, because we're all making ourselves look stupid by not getting over everything. The best picture I found on the internet was the one where it has the American flag, and it's telling all the other countries, it's like, oh, we nuked Japan? Get over it. Oh, we destroyed Germany during World War I and II? Get over it. And just all these other things. And then it's like, oh, 9/11, never forget. And that's how ignorant, like, Americans are. Is like, if it happens to you, even though it's our fault, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. And it's easy to say when it's not you. But the minute one thing happens to us, oh gosh, 10 years later, we're still worrying. I'm not saying forget the people. I'm just saying, don't make it a whole big fucking deal. Like, it's happened. We can't do anything about it. That's how life is. Shit's gonna happen. It may sound rude to put it like that, but that's the only way to put it. Things are gonna happen. We can't do anything about it. Best we can do is move on for those people because they honestly wouldn't want us sticking around for them anyway. Again,
like,
not saying forget them.
Yeah, don't forget like the people. We should never like
sit in the past because of it.
Like, don't forget, like, we shouldn't like forget it happened. Like, we should always remember what happened, but don't like let it
Don't let it consume your life and like.
Especially if you're gonna be like, we're gonna say we should forget about World War II and all this other stuff. Because if that's the case, what about the Holocaust? Even just the past like Black Plague, we don't really talk about that. But
I mean, if we want to get mean, let's talk about the Jewish people asking for money and everything because they think they expect compensation for dying. I mean, that'd be the same thing as the Americans saying, well, maybe you should pay us because we lost people saving you.
Okay, just to save people from my absence, I don't know what I'm doing.
It's just become one of those things where everyone expects they need to receive something for what they've done.
Oh, come on.
Hell, perfect example, African Americans. And that's me trying to be nice. Let's be honest, most people worry about what you should be calling people. Like, everyone's a human being. You shouldn't be getting butthurt about what people are calling you. Now I'm saying, if they start throwing the N-word at you or calling you a cracker or something, and they mean it offensively, that's different. But I mean, like...
Wait. Before we do that, just to save people from this video, what am I doing right now?
Move the marker back there as far as you can get it in.
This one? Move it back?
Move it in here. Into the room we're in.
Okay, thank
and
you.
Raise the bridges and then move it again.
Okay, sorry for everyone who had to just watch me try to figure out this puzzle. Okay, you can go back to what you're saying.
But, people get too butthurt about everything now, really. Everyone's so sensitive about everything.
Yeah, I think that's how people have described our society. Well, there's multiple ways to describe America, but we're talking about the ones thick, not thick skin, thin skin, very thin. We take everything to offense, even if it's like we can't handle. Like the best example we take everything too seriously, and we can't handle anything for ourselves. I don't know if you didn't grow up with my really stereotypical mother that would beat the shit out of you for anything you did stupid. I was taught to tough it out. Many things. And I think a best example, well not a best example, but one example I know is the woman with the McDonald's, with the coffee cup. It was her own fault, got the coffee cup, it was too hot, and she sued McDonald's.
Oh yeah!
And now all the coffee cups have that symbol, which is, okay, that's a good thing, but she won the case for $1 million.
Oh, there was this one chick. She sued McDonald's because they put pickles on her hamburger when she asked for no pickles. And she got like $2.5 million.
Wait,
because
what?
they put pickles. Pickles on a hamburger cost McDonald's $2.5 million. I mean, that's nothing to them. But it's still the fact she won the case. They put pickles on my damn hamburger. Poor soul.
When am I ever going to do? Is that a power lock door?
I'm trying to figure out why everything's still in quarantine.
Is it?
Oh, I think everything is in quarantine until you get this out of there.
Oh, okay. Oh, am I supposed to stasis this? Yeah, probably.
But basically, the whole deal is, everyone expects that they deserve compensation and whatnot for stuff that they didn't even go through. Like, if America is giving so much money to everybody, if anybody deserves that money, to be perfectly honest, it's the Native Americans. They got fucked over the hardest. If you watch Markiplier's American History video, that's the perfect description of what we did. We just came in and said, hey, this is some nice land and corn and stuff you have here. Do you think we can have all of it? That doesn't really seem fair to me. Well, maybe we could trade or something. Oh, we need blankets. Okay, hey, Smallpox Larry, you got any blankets? We come in, we get them all sick, and then just take everything from out under their feet, and then we treat them like shit whenever they ask for something nowadays. Like right now, I can't remember what state it is, but they're actually like in court now with one of the reservations, trying to get them off of it now. Already. Still trying to take their land even to this day. They own like 0.01% of America, if that. They own little to nothing, and then we're still trying to take shit from them.
This is our right of Columbus Day that happened recently. Now, I don't know whenever my school going out for Columbus Day, but schools go out for Columbus Day. People have to go to work sometimes, stuff like that, and but why do we
moving in that direction?
This way to the right? Like, we celebrate Columbus, but first of all, he did not discover America.
Yeah, he wasn't even close.
If you know what he actually did to the Native Americans, like, I think there's one example where I heard is he like.
The best tweet I've ever seen is like, guys, don't judge Christopher Columbus. We all get lost going to the grocery store and then kill several millions of people.
Yeah,
and it's just so ugly because that's what happened. That's why they're called Indians. I feel like it may seem weird that people even have to explain stuff like this all the time. Because you'll be seeing videos where people explain something, and then all the comments section is why are you explaining this like nobody knows? Because you'd be surprised how many people don't know shit. Christopher Columbus wasn't the first guy to discover America, not even close. And then on top of that, he was supposed to be going to India to pick up spices. And then he gets lost, comes to America, and then he thought that they were Indians, finds out they weren't, and he's like, oh, well then let's just take this shit. And then that's the tale of America.
And let's not also forget the torture, the inhumane games. But hey, that's America. Land of the free and home of fuck you.
Yeah!
Alright guys, sorry for having to suffer through that pointless session.
What should have been 5 minutes ended up being like 20.
You get to listen to us ramble on about random topics.
I swear, this might as well be a podcast. Gameplay in the background, there it is. You got 2 of them now.
So, now that I think about it, spoiler alert again, she's not real. But she is giving us knowledge of things Isaac doesn't actually know about, like how to work some of these consoles. Unless he does actually know how to work it, it's just like a different part of him telling him what to do. But
well, I mean, the marker is telepathic, so I mean, it could be the information of Kendra or whatever.
might actually dumb.
Then it has information from pretty much everybody that's died from the hand.
Okay, so that probably might explain it. I was just wondering about that. Like, how is she? Oh. Oh wow. Yeah, she's doing it.
You can shoot those things, remember?
Right.
No, I meant the Ripper.
Right.
But anyway, on top of like Native Americans should be the ones getting our money from their land, it's also a matter of like I think it's one of the biggest things right now is a lot of black people. And I mean, it's not like it's anything new, not being
and
racist or
anyone
anything.
call him racist. I am black, so it doesn't. Just, he has to get
I
away
have
free
one
card.
black friend. It's not racist.
It's not racist. Just for people who want that clarification.
I honestly think over 90% of my friends are black. I don't think I have little to no white friends.
Oh.
I think Thomas and Martin are my only white friends. I have no one else that's white.
I have actually the opposite. I have little to no black friends because
obvious reasons.
Okay, before I say this, our school is ghetto. I'm not saying all black people are ghetto, but we have the stereotypical ghetto.
This town is literally You would think in Tennessee, everyone always thinks it's just nothing but like rednecks and stuff.
Oh,
hell no.
they're gonna come for us.
We live like in the most ghetto place in Tennessee. Like, you would never think there'd be this much ghetto-ness in Tennessee. I definitely didn't, and I still live here. But it's literally the Trayvon Martin thing all over again. Like, the black community has been getting ignorant again out of nowhere for no reason. You heard about the whole Ferguson thing, right? You were the one that told me. Yeah. Well, that shit is finally done with.
I'm about to die.
This dude this cop in Illinois shot another kid. Like, all the cops are losing their shit out of nowhere. Another African-American kid in Illinois was shot this time.
Really?
Yeah. And the whole town's rioting and shit again, just like Ferguson. Not as bad, but it's happening. And they just keep putting it in the news and everything, and the family's crying about it and saying, like, this and that happened. And I'm not saying, like, this time it was the kid's fault. This time it was the cop's fault. Because as far as I've seen, what happened was this cop was chasing a suspect, right? The guy pulled a gun at him, shot him like 5 times, or shot at him 5 times, and then took off. So the cop chased after him, and the guy was wearing a hoodie and whatnot, and had the hood up. So when he comes around the corner of this gas station, the guy that got shot, he's coming out with a sandwich in his hand. And he had his hood up and everything, so he's just munching while he's coming out. And the cop thinks it's him, and he thinks the sandwich in his hand is a gun, which, I mean...
What?
I don't know how that works.
But
he shot the kid, like, 3 times. I haven't looked up anything on the kid yet, so I'm not saying whose fault it is yet. But I'm trying to say that, irregardless of whose fault it is, if it was my child, I wouldn't want it in the news, regardless of how bad it is, like, whoever's fault it was. I'll deal with it myself. Like, it's not America's problem on whose fault it is. it's family business. It'll stay that way. I don't understand like why these families are okay with going to the police and everything and saying, my baby did this and wasn't even blank and they died and blah blah blah. Like the whole Trayvon Martin thing, they lied multiple times trying to say, oh, he was a good kid, he never would have done this or that. We pull up the records on him and find out, one, the pictures they've been showing us of him are like 3 years old. Two, he was selling all sorts of drugs and stuff and was like gang affiliated and whatnot anyway, so everything they were telling was a lie. Not saying that the guy who killed him was right. Both parties are wrong, but don't try to butter it and make it look nice. Because then you just end up looking like an asshole when the truth is found.
Yeah.
Like, it's both their faults, Trayvon and the other guy, I can't remember his name now. Zimmerman. It's both their faults. I ain't saying anyone gets more blame than the other. It's both their faults for it ever happening. Equal blame both sides.
This whole thing is gonna get us so many comments.
But don't be an asshole and then try to lie about your kid. Like, my dad told me straight up, he said, if somebody shot you, he said, yeah, I'd be pissed, but I'm not gonna try and make it look like you were the sweetest kid ever. He said, if you did shit like that, I would tell them. He said, I'm not gonna hide the truth because, he said, one, there's no reason to, and then another reason is you just end up looking like a dumbass when you're found out. Like, there's no reason to lie about it at all. And he's not wrong. There's no reason for it, and you just get a whole nation worked up over something.
Yeah.
And I like those people who say, like, it's impossible to be racist against white people. That's not how racism works. That's how ignorant, like, racism has become in people's
Sometimes my family can be like that, but only because of really specific reason. I mean, they grew up in slavery. I mean, not that all. Wait, let me rephrase that. They grew up in racist New Orleans. So
dude,
that's more. That's only different areas, though. Like,
Robert was saying all the people, like, in Colorado Springs are ruthless. He said...
Funny, I was born there.
He was talking about how racism wasn't, like, slavery wasn't even a thing in that state. It never made it that far. And yet everyone there is acting like they deserve compensation or something for their ancestors.
The first person to own a slave in America was a
black
person.
That's another thing nobody ever really pays attention to. One, the first guy to own a slave in America was black. Two, where do you think they were getting the slaves? From other African tribes in Africa.
Who sold them?
No one ever pays attention to the fact that Africans, whenever they raided other tribes, they would leave the women and children, and sometimes some of them men alive, and then sell them to the white people. Other African tribes were making a profit from their own people. So, you can't be saying it's racist when you were getting sold out by your own people.
And let's also define the word racist and racism. Racism is the very strong hatred to a race. Prejudice is having like just those little stereotypes of people. So when you say someone is racist and they made like just a stereotypical joke, that's not necessarily racism. They're like full on like calling people like niggers and all this other stuff, and they like actually like full on want them dead or something.
Racism is so stupid though, because like I said, we're all human. We're all the same thing. Like, it's
Come
like,
on, guys, we were all born.
It's like
women.
any other species. You have the species, and then you have a different like genome. It's still the same fucking species. Like, everyone's getting all worked up saying, "Oh, we're not the same." Oh, really?
No,
so like, if we get down to this like a microscopic level and everything, we're not going to be the exact same in certain aspects. And that makes perfect sense. I mean, all human beings clearly have like a different entire like DNA makeup entirely. It's not even human DNA in every single person. That's how humans work. God forbid someone think that we're all the same.
Okay, so this has been a very deep conversation for Dead Space. Where are we going with this? What is happening?
Going from glitches to everything getting heated real quick.
We went. This is basically a podcast. Welcome to Dead Space Podcast. While I'm shooting stuff, you are listening to us go and rant about people. Can I step through this?
Yeah. You should probably jump into that.
I learned my lesson last time I listened to you.
Perfectly fine. Those things should technically kill you if they smack you. It's that whole thing about just because you slow it down doesn't mean it's not carrying the same
These things
force.
scare me now. These things have never scared me to this point.
It's the same thing as the 0G basketball. Just run. What are they gonna do? Follow you through the fast swinging fans?
True. No point in wasting my ammo on them. Sometimes like it's so dark, I have to get like closer to the screen just to see what I'm aiming for.
You can just walk.
Oh, can I? See, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Let's start going back to the game a little bit.
This is advanced darkness.
We're near the end here, I think, right?
Yeah.
So, almost done, guys. Been a short, long playthrough for me. What is that?
How'd you not see
Really?
him? He was chilling at the end of the area there.
Man, I haven't seen you in a while, Butters.
I can't remember the last time me and Butters even played a game. Like, he finally got a capture card and a computer that can support the thing. And then I became so disappointed. Because both Jimmy and Butter, like, Jimmy, whenever he could record, he did good. He was basically got drums. And like he was telling me in one video, he actually got to meet, Pay Money Wubby, the guy that's Got Drums' friend. So he actually got to meet Got Drums, and they actually started talking about YouTube stuff and everything. I don't know if that's gone anywhere yet, but talking is talking nonetheless. So, I mean, at least Jimmy's got something for him. And Jimmy is, in my opinion, because you can tell by certain people if they can, it's hard to explain, like, there are certain people who can be in entertainment and certain people who can't. And Jimmy is definitely one of those people that can entertain people. Like, even when I make a YouTube video with him, I have a blast doing it. And then there's Butters. I don't think Butters watches any of the videos on this channel, but I'm not going to be trying to like talk shit or anything in case he does, because I don't do that anyway. But basically what I'm trying to say
We're
is...
just talking shit about like everybody for like a good 20 minutes.
We talk about shit as generalization. When we get to specifics, we don't try to talk shit about people. It's okay to talk about the human population as a whole, but Butters, he's one of those YouTubers that uploads like sniping stuff.
Yeah.
You can tell because his name changes like every other week when he joins a different clan. But he does sniping montages and whatnot. And I mean, the editing and stuff is fine, but to be perfectly honest, I've seen better, like, clips and stuff. I'm not saying, like, he can't quick scope, no scope, and all of that other stupid stuff, but there are people who are pulling off better tricks now. It's basically the equivalent of Minecraft now. It's gotten to that point where it's so overused and easy to do that everybody does it. So now it's just, you have to have a gag along with it, otherwise there's nothing special about you.
Yeah.
And his videos are pretty much just that now. It's just generic, same as everything else. I throw dubstep in the background and put some filters on it and then just shake the screen a bit. So
that's like what happens when you type in MLG to YouTube and you just see all the videos.
I typed in MLG overreaction. I watched like 7 videos. I love those things.
I like how I was watching like a bit of the news podcast with Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Ken, and Mark didn't even know that MLG was a real thing.
I was surprised by that he didn't know that Major League Gaming is an actual thing.
Am I supposed to bring the mic over here now?
Yeah, I guess so.
What was the point of moving it over there? I had it over here in the first place.
I don't know.
I don't understand what I'm doing anymore.
Well, your objective thing's telling you to go back that way, right?
Yeah.
Then yeah, I guess you do have to move the marker over there.
What? I had it there in the first place, but why did I move it here?
Are you sure you didn't come from that side?
I did come from this side, I think.
Oh, look at the room real quick to your left.
My left?
Yeah, you did come from that side.
Okay, so I guess. I guess so.
Well, you don't even have to go in there. Just pull it across.
Oh, alright. I will continuously do this for the rest of my life.
You're not using stasis that much anyway.
Well, I mean, I have a station right here, so
yeah.
it doesn't matter.
But basically what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying like any of his videos are bad or anything, I'm just saying if he wants more views than what he's getting, he's gonna have to do something that stands out.
I'm not hating, just trying to give a helpful
And I'm not saying like I'm an expert on YouTube or anything, because clearly I don't do that much that sticks out. But that's also because, and I think this is probably one of the rarest qualities on YouTube, is I do it because I can. I do it because I like doing it. I do it because I have fun doing it. I mean, I'm not saying, like, if I started getting a bunch of views, I'm not going to monetize my videos and get money. I mean,
like,
you wouldn't say no to that, but I'm saying I feel like I'm one of the only people I know that actually started YouTube because I have fun making videos.
And that's the thing, when you people, like, when everyone sees YouTubers, you think they sold out for the mic.
Yeah.
I think people, like all those YouTubers you see, they all comment on this. They all try to tell people this about the side.
Like, how dare you be making money for this?
Like, you watch the video because you like what they do. What does them making money of it have to do with anything? Like, that shouldn't affect you.
Nobody complains when Google employees are making money. You see what they do for their job?
You should feel happy.
I'm not saying their job is a joke. I'm just saying you see what they do every day. Have you seen their office? Like, these people they have fun doing it. I mean, it's great to get paid for something you love doing. And it's just, I can't understand it because it's easy to do. Kind of. If you're an exciting person, it's easy to do. I'm not going to say it's hard. But I'm just saying that's not the only reason you should do it. Like, do it because you enjoy it. Don't do it because you feel like it's a job. Like,
yeah, that's one thing. Like, and going to like dreams, good philosophical here. If you always do what go for your dreams, do what makes you happy. But when the things you want to do that makes you happy starts becoming a hassle and
stressing you out,
then
it's not even worth it.
You can't do it anymore. Like, I think a good example is when it goes to the YouTuber side of things is when people like all the death threats and all that. When you start getting all that stuff when you were just doing this as for fun and stuff, it's sometimes you have to like back away, or some people can tough through it. Like all the time.
A thing like Cry, he takes breaks all the time. He makes sure he enjoys it. He doesn't overdo it, and his fan base is amazing because they respect him for that.
Cry's fan base, I was fine. PewDiePie. Oh, actually, no.
He admits himself. PewDie admits all the time he doesn't like how his fan base acts. He doesn't say he doesn't like them. He just says, "You guys need to stop acting childish over here."
He tells us, but so like. Also, do not blame the YouTuber for their fan base.
Yeah.
All the people in their fan base.
I mean, look at Justin Bieber. He's complete asshole to his fan base. They still love him.
I mean, his fan base.
That's a special kind of stupid.
They're also assholes, though. Have you actually talked to a hardcore believer?
Have you seen I can't remember if it's Jimmy Fallon or one of the other, like, the talk show hosts. But he had somebody go out and ask a bunch of Bieber fans questions.
Yes, I've seen that.
Remember, like, did you hear Justin Bieber put his grandmother in the hospital? Do you think it was okay? Well, it depends on why he did it. No! Oh, hi.
Oh, guys, that's the end of the game. I thank you for watching the playthrough.